That was a long time ago. I don't think it affects me anymore. I don't even think about it. Maybe you've said or thought something like this. You're not alone. I have too, and that's what I want to share with you in this episode. I'm a therapist and coach, and clients say this a lot, that statement. Oh, I'm Justin Sunseri, by the way. Nice to meet you if you're new here. Welcome to Stuck Not Broken. So, that statement, I don't think it affects me anymore because I don't think about it. It's pretty predictable and it seems to be part of decluttering the mind for or planning for preparing for self-regulation. The past, of course, still affects you. That's what I tell my clients, and that's what I explain to them. And so, obviously, that's something I should know. Not only know, but live. And I thought I was doing both. Way back, a little context here. Way back in 1997, I had a major back surgery. Almost all of my vertebrae were fused together, and two titanium rods were bolted into my spine to remedy a significant scoliosis condition. This level of surgery is fairly rare. I would learn later on. I learned that there was an 80% chance of paralysis. A buddy of mine in high school, he did a research project on it and used my x-rays. And he said, "Hey, did you know you ran this high risk of paralysis?" And I said, "No, I was not aware of that." So I recovered over that summer. I was bedridden. I was watching MTV. I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy and Faith Evans was huge at the time. And I swear it was being played at least once per hour on MTV. More recently, around 2022, my right leg started going numb as I walked my son to school. I did physical therapy, and it was kind of helpful for a while, but the problem didn't stop, and it actually got worse. The issue spread to my other leg, so both legs. And then in September 2025, my leg started going numb more often and more intensely and with pain, so I went to urgent care. They had me go for a CT scan and x-rays, and they identified that I was again having significant lower back issues. Since then, I've done more x-rays and an MRI. I have a couple of issues going on in my lower vertebrae, which are causing everything else. Recently, I learned I'll be having another spinal surgery at some point in the nearest future to fuse the lower vertebrae that remain to the rest of my fused vertebrae. I have some mixed emotions about all this, but what has stuck out to me is my experience during the x-rays. Putting my back and my sides up against the panels, holding my breath, the clicking of the machine, the attendees going behind a wall, and the way their voice carried across the walls of the room and into my ears. There's a distinct experience that's difficult to name. It's like a sort of saddened familiarity, an inward collapse that I feel from my chest to my knees. And it felt like walking through the moment, but not being connected to it, and yet also connected to it because I could feel the collapse. I could feel the heaviness in that x-ray room. So overall regulated, but yeah, a bit of shutdown, isn't it? And I feel sadness about that too, plus worry about, well, how is this going to impact my life in every way? The surgeon said this is comparatively minor, so I'm sure I'll be okay. He seemed pretty at ease about it, which helps. So, to bring this back to where I started, despite practicing what I preach and all my personal unstucking work and self-development, I didn't know this affected me still. After all, I never thought about it. Luckily, I do indeed practice what I preach, so I am very attuned and open to the internal experiences of this process, no matter what they are. Actually, as an example, during a recent doctor's visit with a surgeon, I validated and I normalized and I permitted myself to feel all my feelings while anchored in safety. That's the most important piece of it. I was anchored in my safety state. So I let myself feel worried as I watched the rain stream down the office window while I was waiting for the doctor. I let myself feel sad and alone while looking up at the cloudy sky and seeing a bit of sun peek through. It was actually quite nice. and to let myself feel anxious about the unknown as I stood and I moved around the office, waiting for the doctor and hoping my legs didn't go numb. I used the skills from Safety Simplified and Self-Regulation Simplified, my cohorts that I run, and I continue to do so every morning during my solitude routine in darkness. And maybe someday I'll share about my morning routine, my solitude and darkness morning routine. So why do I share this with you? Well, I want to share an example of what self-regulation can look like, and I want to show you what can happen when you increase your safety baseline. And I want to encourage you to permit your own feelings as they surface, even if they're unexpected, even if these are feelings that you don't think about often or at all. But I want you to prioritize safety. I want you to practice it daily so that your safety baseline increases and provides a buffer against the unexpected. And when the other feelings do surface, balance them with safety. I want you to do that as well if you can. It does get easier over time and with small intentional practices. Even if we're not actively thinking about something, the past still affects us, whether it was a summer in 1997 with Puff Daddy and Faith Evans on MTV, or with a confrontation with the higher up that you had at work last week. The past still affects us, even if you're not thinking of it or aware of it. I'm not asking you to dwell upon the past and unearth things that you've been through. I think my point here is to invite you to become more compassionate about yourself today. The emotions within you aren't random. They come from something, and the future hasn't happened yet. And we're in the present, obviously, right? So the feeling is something from the past. You can leave the past where it is, but connect with the present. If you feel worried, that's okay. Let yourself feel worried. But also look out the window at the rain as it streams down the window. And if you're grieving, that's okay. Let yourself grieve. Acknowledge it. Name it. Normalize it. And if you feel alone, then let yourself feel alone as you take a step outside of your home and take in one big intentional breath. But besides giving an example of self-regulation and a couple of recommendations, mostly I think I just wanted to share something different than I typically do here on the podcast to connect with you in a different way. And I appreciate you giving me some of your time.